start security as a career. So this effort is just one of the ways to raise the awareness, okay, for young people to see security as a career path. Because if you go to many of the universities dotted on this continent, few of them are doing security as an academic course. These days, some are doing it as certificate courses or professional courses. But it has not been part of our curriculum in our universities. But this center feels that we have to go back. Because everything that is slowing down the development of Africa is because of two things. Most times, what we say is leadership. Oh, it's a leadership problem. But at this center thinks that it is leadership and security. If there's good leadership and our security will be so important to us, Africa will progress. As we progress, you come to appreciate why it is security. As a matter of fact, everything we do or don't do is around security. So this is what this center seeks to achieve. Make security so sexy, such that young men can say that we want to take security as our career. And then middle career people can transition into security, because there are so many areas that you can go, you can start as a security professional. So this is just one of the series of things we'll be doing. Next 2 weeks, we'll be talking about national security. We want people to understand security such that they themselves want to do it or want to explain it to people who don't understand, for them to take it as a career. And thank God, we are going to have people who are doing the security, how it's helping them, how they are enjoying it. They will share some experiences with us. And we hope that as we progress, this is going to help all of us become better people, or our families, our children, our nephews. Good. So, information session on security careers. Our focus is on security careers. Where are the careers? What does it take to start? What are the prospects? What are the challenges? This is the purpose of this session. And as you have all appreciated, it is free. All you need is data and time. Please, some few housekeeping rules. Mute your microphone. It's going to disrupt us a lot of the time. So be on the lookout. Check if you're using a phone or a laptop. Check that the microphone icon is red. If it is not red, just click on it and it will be red. This whole thing is being recorded. After that, it will be put on YouTube. So you have access to it till you die. So don't worry about recording at all. Check your microphone. If you want to speak, you can now unmute it. So let's know ourselves. Quickly, your name, what you do, and why you are here. Okay? Quickly. Just, I can see Mr. Amevo. Mr. Amevo, tell us who you are, what you do, and why you are here.
Yes, I'm Mr. Mevo. they work as a high security officer for a gold processing company as a Cardinal Namdeni Mines.
Good. Mr. Adideji Adiyeba. Hey, I think this is one of the Oga people. Mr. Adideji, if you are ready, please introduce yourself.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Emmanuel Oladeji, thank you.
Okay, please, what do you do? And why are you here? Okay, let's move on. I can see 4D16 PMAX. Mr. Baba.
Hello, everyone. My name is Philip. I am a security person, and I'm here to understand the subject matter for the day. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome, sir. Bernard Buama. This name is very common to me. Bernard Buama, please introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Bernard Buama. I'm also a security professional in the mining security industry. And I'm also here to know what your center has for me in upgrading my career.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much and welcome. Mr. Isaac.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Mr. Isaac, go ahead.
Yes. Good evening. Yes. My name is Isaac Mensah. I work with the University of Ghana Security Services. Yes, I just joined some about 2 minutes ago.
You're welcome, please.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Bertrand, your hand is up. Bertrand Ambi.
Yeah, good evening to everyone. I am Bertrand from Cameroon, security manager at Union Bank. I'm here to get more information about the center. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Bernard Buama.
Mr. Yeah, I think I've already introduced myself,
sorry.
Please.
Mr. Cornelius.
Yeah, I'm Cornelius from Tanzania. Actually, I'm in sales and marketing, but very interested in security issues and conflict resolution. That's why I'm here.
You're welcome, sir. Mr. Billy. Mr. Gibson Milazi. Mr. Michael, sorry, Bakamara.
Yes, Mr. Khan. Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael Soribakama from Sierra Leone. I'm just here to explore what the foundation is doing. That's why I'm here.
Good. You're welcome, sir. That's my big boss. Mr. Ngala. Okay. So some are saying they are techno, they are that and that and that. Okay. So we are going to continue. Along the line, if you have an issue, maybe you may want to introduce yourself before you raise it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much and welcome. If you have not called you, it's not for any bad or good reason. Okay, so let's move on. So this is the name of the center, the African Security and Leadership Education Foundation. They focus on three key things: education, advocacy, and research on security and leadership. Like I said from the beginning, if we can handle security and the issue of leadership well in Africa, in fact, almost all our issues will be solved. But almost all our issues are security issues. So we need leaders to come and address it. So we as young people, we as adults, we as career people, we are security people, we want to understand this better so we can educate people around us. And the more of us become more educated, the easier it will be. We may not solve all the issues, but it will be very easy for us. Okay? Good. There are partners. This institution has partners. One is the Asset Protection Academy. They focus on corporate security, research, security management, industrial security consulting, and then they also help people who want to write the ASIS International Certification. This is a certification that is based in Maryland in the US. Well-respected certification. These are some of them, okay? They have the Associate Professional, Protection Professional, the Physical Security, the Professional Certified Investigator. These are all certifications that ASIS has. And I'm a proud member of ASIS, and I am a certified professional, certified protection professional. So I sell the certifications, okay? I'll encourage you, if you have the time and money, yes, not too much, but it's more of time. If you want to really go into corporate security, please choose one of these certifications. You will never regret, okay? Good. So this is me, very handsome man, but God has taken all my hair away, okay? And these are a few of my certificates and certifications. And like I said, I'm a proud member of ASIS International, and I'm a certified protection professional. I will encourage you, if you want to go into corporate security, please choose ASIS. If you want to go into academic security, there are several areas we will be discussing. Okay? Thank God I'm able to work on some books. These are just two of them. Please check your microphones. This is my upcoming book. Hopefully by middle of September, it will be launched. Okay? Understanding the private security industry. Please get a copy when it is launched. Okay, let's come to business now. Information session on security careers. I don't know whether in Tanzania or Zambia or in Kenya, but in Ghana, if you walk to any university campus and ask the student, do you think of doing security as a career? They will look at you some way because, me, security. No. Security belongs to some people who wear uniforms and you see them in the banks, in the malls, and they don't know that there's some other security beyond these guys that they see. So like I said, this whole thing is to create awareness that, hey, there are several areas you can take, start a career, and you enjoy doing it, because we are privileged to have some 4 people who are on this discussion. Getting to the tail end, I'll introduce them properly, and they will tell you where security career has taken them to. Okay? Good. Definition of security. Security definition has changed. It has evolved, okay? The traditional security definition has changed. Years ago, it was all about protection of territorial integrity. Everybody wants to protect their country, their space. It was war on occupation. Once you capture or you are able to overcome some space, you control it, and it is for you. So we needed security people to do that. And it was more of military, okay? states, the issue of security was all about external military threats. So when we defined security years ago, it was all about if somebody come to attack Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Zambia, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria. That was all everybody's mind was. But this changed. It changed. Now we have moved from that. We have moved from the state-centric military defense and internal law and order. We have moved from the definition of security has changed. And that is why me and you, we can call ourselves security professionals. Because there are several other areas that must work well for a country to say that, oh, our security is good. Not because the military is good. You can have the best military, but if several other things are not happening, your security will still not be good. And as we progress, we will get to know them. So after the Cold War, okay, this meaning of security changed. So now when we say security, we are looking at human security. Are people happy in your country? Now we are looking at protection of individuals from hunger, diseases, violence. That is what the UNDP has defined security. So we have moved from where we only needed the military to where people are hungry. So once people are hungry in your country, it means there's insecurity. When there are diseases that we cannot control, we don't have the resources to handle, there's the issue of security. When there's violence, as we have witnessed in some countries, they are all issues of security. So if today you are hungry, you have not gotten food to eat, there's a security issue. That is a human-centered security. Then we have issue of cybersecurity. We are able to have this class because there's a platform called the internet. And bad people have found a way of making it difficult for people to easily operate on this internet space. Cybersecurity, safeguarding information systems and networks. So cybersecurity alone, there are several areas you can choose as a security professional. Then we can think about environmental security, addressing threats from climate change and ecological degradation. So when we start cutting all our trees, start burning all our forests, start polluting our rivers, there's issue of security, big time security issue. Then we have health security, mitigating pandemics and biological threats. So COVID was a big security issue. If there's malaria, too much malaria in your country, it's a security issue. If you go to the hospital, there are no drugs, there's a security issue. If there are no beds in the hospital, you have security issues. So you see how definition of security, that's why I told you that everything around us is now a security issue. Everything. So it tells you there are several opportunities for you to choose to start your career in security. Now, because of this broad definition, we need a multi-dimensional approach in addressing the issue of security. And everything we mentioned, they are interconnected. If you don't have good schools to produce good health people, your health system will be very weak. In that case, there's going to be security issue. If your people don't have access to education, it's a security issue. So everything around us is about security. security threats of today are interconnected. And they go beyond the traditional battlefield concerns where we needed ammunition, we needed guns, we needed thousands of soldiers. We still need them anyway. But if we will handle the health issues, if there will be food available, if there will be good salary, if there will be jobs for people to get good salary, we will not need to go to war because our concerns will be reduced. People will not go to the bush and start fighting the government because there are jobs. So security is no longer about armies and states, but about people, about communities and systems. Is the system working? Is your health system working? Is your economic system working? Is your transport system working? Is the family system working? If these things are not working, we have security issues, big security issues. And I can assure you that if you study 99% of the conflicts in Africa today, they are all because some of the things I mentioned are not working or are not working to meet the expectation of the citizens. So why is security so important today? Because it is the basis of stability. Stability, prosperity, and governance. If there is security, all this is work well. There will be stability, prosperity. People will be happy because there are jobs. I can go to job, earn good money, take care of my girlfriend and my wife, my family. Governance will be good. People can say what they feel. Government will listen to them. So we are going to look at security in 3 key areas. Global security. This type of security ensures what? That there's peace, there's cooperation among nations. Threats like terrorism, nuclear proliferation, cyber attacks, climate change are such that no one country can do it alone. You need several countries. You need multilateral responses, countries, institutions. And what? Robust global security architecture. Yes, it's good. If you are a country, you are so serious, you are doing everything fine. But most of the threats we have today are not at country level. You can do all the nice things, but your neighbor will be having issues. And I was privileged to be in Somalia the whole of last year. I can tell you, Kenya and Ethiopia, who share border with Somalia, are not comfortable at all. So you see, it's not Ethiopia or Kenya, but it's their neighbor. You can do all the right things. If your neighbor has issues, it will affect you. That is why we need multilateral responses. And that is why the structure, the architecture should be what? Robust. And it should be a global nature. Now, you can come to the national level. Togo, Ghana, Burkina Faso, Kenya, Zambia, Tanzania. You also need to protect your territorial integrity, ensure there's law enforcement, there's public order. But if there are weak institutions are institutions that have nice laws, nice regulations, but they are not working. If that happens, states become fragile, there's poor governance, there will be signs of underdevelopment. National security policies also, security policies to address these threats may not be working. So what will you see? It will result in what? Insurgencies, organized crime, political violence. So you see, we've left the global level, we have come to the state. Things that if they are not working well in a country, they will all become issues of insecurity. So this is at the national level. Fragile state, poor governance, under development. Now let's go to the corporate level or the business level. People invest their monies, okay, such that me and you, we can get jobs. And once the monies are invested, they have to be protected. These assets, these businesses, people, personnel, reputation, intellectual properties have to be protected because of the threat of cyber intrusion, espionage, the issue of threats, vandalism. These things impact on businesses seriously. And when that happens, business continues to become an issue, investor confidence reduces. If you're an investor in Togo, you go to Kenya, you invest your money there, and these things are happening, you will not be happy. You say, I want to get my money and go back to Togo. Though the market may be in Togo. So businesses must also be protected. So you see, we have moved from the international level, we've come to the national level, we've come to the corporate level, and all these levels, there are job opportunities for who? Me and you. Please check your microphones, the background noise. Okay, now let's come to personal level. You as an individual, you need to protect yourself. You want to be free. You want to have your freedom. You don't want to have the fear of, hey, what am I going to eat tomorrow? How am I going to pay my children's school fees? If you don't have this basic needs and wants, they are all security issues. So the issue of urban crime, identity theft, home invasions, all these things, the more they happen, individuals lose their sense of security. People are scared to go out to do what they have to do. Weekend, people want to go out and enjoy. They cannot go because they are scared of something bad happening. So then, in some countries, measures like community policing, community watchdog, some of these things have been applied from countries, communities to protect themselves. Okay. Now, we are going to look at security from both the private sector and the public sector. Okay? In many countries, or for some years ago, when you hear security, most times what comes in mind is what? Police. Yes, for many of us, of course, maybe we here, our understanding is better. But a large population of people in Africa or in the world, when they hear security, the first thing is police. But we have state-controlled security. Responsible for what? Law enforcement, defense, and intelligence. So the people who come into this basket are police. They enforce laws. They maintain public order. They do investigations. Sometimes I ask myself, have you imagined if police go on strike for even a day in your country? Then all the criminals, all the suspects can now come out free. You can slap anybody. Nobody will ask you any question. You can go and hurt somebody. You can go and steal. So public security, police. Then military. They are in charge of what? Defense of national borders. Respond to external threats. Sometimes they may be called for internal instability operations. Then we have intelligence services. What do? They collect data, analyze information, so that they can preempt what people are planning. So this institution, they are always looking for what can go wrong. Which people are planning something bad. So public sector security is governed by what? Constitutional and legal frameworks. And it is often the first line in state security. Every country has this form of security. Some few of them don't have military, but police, almost every country on earth at least has a police service or a police force. If not, there will be chaos. Okay? Now let's look at private sector security. They are saying that it is now larger than public policing in many countries. And they offer wide range of services. So private security has become such a big deal. And if you don't know, in many countries, there are more private security officers than public security officers, especially police. So in many countries, they have more private security officers than police. That tells you that there's a big industry that you have to exploit, either as an entrepreneur, starting your own business, or developing your skill to fit in as a consultant, as a trainer, as whatever. So this industry is huge. And you see them in corporate security. What do? They protect organizations from internal and external threats, such as workplace violence, cybersecurity, and fraud. In many countries you go, there are thousands of private security companies that are in business. They are earning millions of dollars. And their job is to do what? Protect businesses. Then we have industrial security. They focus on securing critical national infrastructures, manufacturing facilities, energy plants, and logistics. There's a very interesting trend. In many countries that you go, these facilities like power facilities, energy facilities, you will not go and see police there. You go and see trained private security officers. Or sometimes it is joint. Why? Because to the government, it is cheaper to use private security more than public security. The cost of managing a policeman is usually more expensive than the cost of paying a private security guard. So why not? Government wants to go for them than say we need more police. We are still in the private sector security. Cyber security, like I mentioned earlier, there are so many jobs in that area, and they involve defending network systems, data from digital threat. There are millions of dollars that are lost every day on the internet. So we need people like you with the requisite skills to advise companies on how to protect their digital networks. Like I told you, we are able to communicate because of the internet. Yes. One big area is executive protection or people protection or personnel protection, bodyguards, protective details for high-risk individuals such as what? Diplomats and CEOs. So you can become executive protection professional. Another area is event security. These days there are so many events. Weekdays, weekends, political party rallies, concerts, rallies, football games. All those events, we need people, professional people, trained to protect them. You can become event security specialist. And the interesting thing is that in many countries you go, there's a huge partnership, there's a strong partnership between the states and private security industry. Okay, good. Now let's go to international security organizations. There are several international and multilateral actors that play the role of peace and security that you can also choose and say that, oh, me, I want to go international. So you can work with the UN in several capacities, peacekeeping missions, disarmament efforts, counterterrorism support. But the UN has several security roles. The money is good, so it is difficult to get jobs with the UN. But people are getting it anyway. So what do? You learn, you research what it takes to get there, and you can get there. So the UN is there, African Union is there. They lead regional security initiatives like the African Standby Force and several stabilization missions. If you know how many missions, how many AU-led missions in Africa, you will be shocked. If you don't know, you don't know. If you research, they are there. The last time I checked, there are almost 20. Some are political missions, some are combat missions. Then we can talk about the non-governmental organizations. And remember, there are very powerful non-governmental organizations. What do? They provide humanitarian protection and advocate for disarmament, mine clearance, and conflict resolution. There are several of them. Some of them are so rich, they have big budgets. They all have security roles. They all have careers for you. These actors address transnational threats and they help stabilize conflict-affected regions, often complementing state efforts. Some of them work in very dangerous areas. But let me tell you, I met one woman who said, I'm now in Somalia. I was shocked. But it's not as risky as you think. It was when I went there, then I came to appreciate why she was confident to accept a job in Somalia. So, when you get a job in Somalia, don't say that, oh, me, I'm scared, oh, I don't want to die. Please, you will not die. Because, of course, as far as dying is concerned, anything can cause you to die. But many of these NGOs, they work in high-risk areas. Most cases, they are not targets. In many stories that I know, it is, even when they are targeted, it is some category of people, not blacks. So, there are so many careers in all this international space. Our purpose today is to know where the careers are. Okay? Good. Now let's go to the core career streams in security. Core career streams. We've mentioned the public sector careers where you can join the armed forces. Yes, you can become a military officer, soldier, military police. So if you join the armed forces, there are several specialist areas you can choose. Okay? I don't know whether we have young ones here who are still young to join the armed forces. And there are so many growth areas. Intelligence analysis, cyber defense, drone operations. And these armed forces, many of them based on your pedigree, they work in both their country and in many international space. Okay? The second one is police. Yes, police has several specialist areas. Law and order, investigations, crime prevention, managing civil unrest. You can become a patrol officer, a detective, crime scene investigator, K9 handler, SWAT. And they have specialist units, cybercrime units, anti-narcotics units, public order management. So even in public sector security, there are many specialist areas. Then we can talk about the intelligence services. Like we mentioned earlier, they collect the information, advise the specific institutions for them to act on it. In Ghana, we can talk about the National Investigation Bureau. In the US, is the FBI. In UK, is M16. And there are several careers in intelligence analysts, field officers, cryptographers, and all those specialist areas you can think about. You can go to fire service, emergency services. They respond to all the emergency issues, flood, fire, accident, other emergencies. Firefighters, fire investigators, emergency medical responders, search and rescue. So these are the specialist areas in public security institutions. Now let's come to private. Privates, there are several of them. We mentioned a couple of them. And I told you they are in high demand. Yes. Because of the way we have all become and society has become, everybody wants to protect themselves. So there's a high demand for private security professionals. Many of them, you see them in man guarding, patrolling, access control, CCTV, supervisors, operations managers, control room analysts. These days, the use of drones, biometric access, remote monitoring. So technology has come to even add more careers in the private security industry. Okay? Executive protection. We mentioned this already. These guys protect big people, big men, VIPs, politicians, celebrities, CEOs from physical threats. So you could be a close protection officer. You may be part of the advanced team planners. You may be part of those who use even armored vehicle drivers. All these areas require what? Training, practical training. Some of them firearms. They will teach you how to handle firearms. You need soft skills. You need situational awareness. Corporate security. Banks want to be protected. Hospitals want protection. Mining companies, telecom companies, aviation companies, oil and gas. All these areas, there are several courses, there are several certifications that are available that will make you a specialist in all these areas to be either a consultant or to be able to work in these sectors. Threat assessment officer, facility manager, facility security manager, investigations officer, travel risk management officer, policy enforcement. These are all career areas you can choose. Investigations and fraud control. Internal fraud. These days, there's a lot of fraud. Interestingly, in many companies, when the fraud occurs, it is kept on the quiet. It's not made public. But there's a lot and lot. Fraud is somebody will say is in ascendancy. So internal fraud detection, background checks. Yes, some people are specialized in background checks, surveillance, asset recovery, and they are in the finance industry, insurance industry, retail, compliance. I know a guy whose specialist area is fraud, and he makes a lot of money. Yes. Forensics, open source intelligence, digital tracing, undercover operations. So these are all areas Then cybersecurity and information security. This is also one big area, one new area The good thing is that for many companies, you can stay in your house and become their cybersecurity expert. All you need is your laptop and internet. You don't need to move to the site. There are a lot of remote jobs in this area. What do? They defend digital infrastructure from all the risk, malware, ransomware, data breaches, and espionage. Remember, there are people who have trained to become very, very bad people on the internet. These days, we have state-sponsored cyber defense. Countries are at war in the cyberspace, and it is working very, very, very well. Because if I'm able to hack into your water system, can you imagine the whole of Kampala, no water? Because somebody has hacked into the system that manages the water in Kampala, in Nairobi, in Accra, in Freetown. Aha. So there are several careers in these areas: ethical hackers, cybersecurity analysts, incident responders, compliance officers. What is down there are several of the certifications. Few of them. So once you are interested in these areas, what do? You start research. And then some of them are even free. Of course, the introductory ones. So don't say that, oh, it's so expensive. Go and do your research. Then let's go to the international security space. Peacekeeping and humanitarian missions. There are several UN missions, such as the United Nations mission in South Sudan. MINUSMA is the mission in Mali. We have the AU mission in Somalia. There are several of these missions. What you have to do is sit your buttocks down, go online, start researching. What are the security careers, security opportunities in these UN missions, in these AU missions, in these ECOWAS missions? There are several of them. We have military observers. We have disarmament officers. We have security sector reform officers. We have force protection officers. In fact, in international space, there are several positions. And they are all security jobs. Like I said, the money is good. So it's difficult to get. But it doesn't mean it's impossible. Most of these jobs require experience in public security or defense forces, plus some of them language skills and cultural awareness. Yes. Again, like I mentioned earlier, there are several NGO jobs that are all security specifics. I told you some of them are very powerful. One of them is Médecins Sans Frontières. It's a French institution. Save the Children, International Red Cross. These are multi-billion NGOs and INGOs. If they tell you their budget, you will be shocked. And many of them have security officers. Okay? Security coordinators, risk advisors, crisis managers, safety trainers. And they all protect humanitarian workers and beneficiaries in high-risk areas. One other area is private military companies. This one, most of them are retired police, retired gendarmes, and retired military. Some are also raw civilians. They take you, they train you, they send you to Ukraine, Mali. Many of them operate in high-risk environment. In fact, they work like military. And they are paid very well, but their job very risky. Some of them are the Gather World, the 4G, the G4S, Risk Consulting, DINCORP, Academy. The most common one in Africa now is called it used to be the Wagner Group. Now they call them Africa Corps. They pay very well. They offer several services, several categories of services. They do convoy protection. They provide base camp. Sometimes they train host nation forces. Yes, some of them just move to a country and go and train their soldiers, their police, their prisons. So this category of people are not just only those you see them dressed, their face covered and everything. No. Some of them come in suit. They will come to your Ghana, your police service, come and train them. Come to your military, come to your gendarme, even sometimes your national security. So many of these companies, they get contracts from the sponsoring institution. Okay, so let's say the US government wants to train maybe Ghana Armed Forces, Ghana Police, Ghana prisons. One of these companies will get a job in the US, the contract in the US. Then now they will come to Ghana, they will come to Togo, Tanzania, Kenya, and now come and train. So private military companies are not just those you see in the conflict areas with the face masks, with the AK-47. No. Some private military companies operate in what? Legal gray zones and are accused of violating human rights or sovereignty. Yes. If we have time and we have to go into it, many of them are not doing so well in some countries. There have been several issues of violations. Okay? So if you are accepting job with them, please just be careful before you accept. But I know they pay well. Okay, now let's look at the skills we need. Now we know where the jobs are, right? Let's look at the skills we need, the qualifications we need, the certifications we need. Good. Soft skills. These days, everywhere you go, they are preaching soft skills. Soft skills are what? Essential in every operations, especially in roles that require interpersonal interaction, situational judgment, and professional discretion. They are fundamental qualities of a dependable security officer. If you are a professional security officer and you have strong soft skills, it will show. Because you know how to talk to people, you know how to plan, you know how to understand situations, you know how to brief, you know how to communicate, you know how to relate to people. You know, these days some of us have become very difficult. So you have to build your communication skills, both your writing and verbal communication skills. If you want to be a good security officer, please spend time and develop your communication skills, both verbal and written. They are vital in reporting incident, in this escalation, conflict, in briefing stakeholders. They are good to communicate with clarity, with assertiveness. Be a good active listener. You need to be a good communicator. In fact, in every job in this world now, being a good communicator is so powerful. Sometimes you can win people's trust just because you're able to talk well. Not because you speak like the queen or the king, but you are able to say what you have to say with precision, without any ambiguity. Okay? The skill of observation. Security officer, you have to be a good observer. Attention to detail will enable you to do what? Detect suspicious behavior, identify anomalies, and monitor patterns. Surveillance officers, bodyguards, control room people, you are always observing. So observation, the skills of observation. Integrity. Integrity is dying in the world. So those who have it, they are able to go to places. What is your level of integrity? When you are not in the room, what will people say about you? Security officer, future potential security professional. Your integrity is very important. Do we trust you? Your trustworthiness is important. Because sometimes you have access to sensitive information. You have authority over others. So We cannot put you in some positions if we are not sure about your integrity. Ethical decision making ensures what? Compliance with law enforcement and professional codes of conduct. How can we be sure about your integrity? Now, we just look at 3 soft skills. Let's go to hard skills, operational and technical proficiency. Hard skills are technical skills. They are task specific. That you gain through what? Structured training, field experience, and certification. Surveillance. If you are into CCTV, physical patrols, electronic monitoring, you will be surveilling. In fact, you place surveillance on area, people, facilities, and you cannot afford not to follow the basic rules and regulations that are around this your surveillance task they have given you. Weapon handling, like I told you, some of the jobs, if you go for them, you will be required to handle weapon. They will teach you like a soldier man or policeman or immigration man. So you should be able to handle weapon. And they are saying this is crucial in security roles, military police. Most executive protection agents, they use firearms. So you should know what is fire safety, marksmanship, rules of engagement, use of less lethal options. You should know them, tasers, batons. These are all hard skills, okay? Digital proficiency. Are you able to use a basic computer to send emails, prepare your word, prepare your report, do PowerPoint? These ones, nobody will teach you in class, or you have to learn yourself. If you don't know, go to YouTube. These days, there's everything on YouTube. You should be able to use basic things, ability to use softwares, database, access control systems. You have to have those basic skills if you want to become a security professional. In some areas, risk assessment. I tell my students that risk assessment is the genesis of security. Because every security system you see anywhere, risk assessment was conducted. They were able to identify the threat and the risk. They broke the threat and risk down and said, if we can implement these measures, we can mitigate whatever risk we have in mind. So security professional, you cannot afford not to understand what is risk assessment. You should be able to conduct threat assessment, vulnerability audits, business impact assessment. In the area of corporate security, event planning, before you do all these things, you have to conduct risk assessment. Okay? Good. Let's look at training and academic pathways. Everything we have mentioned, most of them, you need some form of training. Yes. A well-defined career path in security begins with structured education, uniform service, followed by professional certifications, and then continuous learning, certificate, diploma, degree programs. There are so many of them, but be careful what you go for. Yes, in some countries, they are strict about where your certificate is coming from. So before you think of the course to do, find out from your country. If I bring this course, will it be accepted? There's this course I want to do. Will it be accepted? Yes. In Ghana, our body is called the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. For the past 2-3 months, they have become so wild. They are chasing people with people they call, they are using either fake degrees or honorary degrees. So please, whichever course you plan to do, check. Now, when it comes to professional qualifications, many academic institutions don't have the mandate to accredit them. So when you go, they'll say, okay, once it is professional issue, this one is not in our door. Sorry, the network, something happened to it. Welcome back. So please check the course you are going to do, especially if you intend to go and use it in the work environment. So what you are seeing on the screen are several certifications for those who want to go into public sector security. Sorry, private sector security. There are several of them. We have the CPP from ASIS International. We have the PSP also from ASIS International. We have the CPO, Certified Protection Officer from International. We want to apologize again. I think there are network issues. So what you are seeing on the screen are several professional certifications available that you can choose from. There are so many of them. But like I said, choose and choose well. Okay? Okay. For some of these jobs, it is good if you have a police or military background. Okay? But it is not a requirement for many of them. Some, they will say that, oh, if you have it, it is desirable. In the UN, they always say it is desirable. It doesn't mean you must have it. The issue is, for many of these jobs, like I said, because they are in the high-risk environment, if you have them, and of course, public service security, like police, the military, the gendarmes, they are trained for this environment. So, but the fact that you are not a police before or military doesn't mean you cannot start a private security profession. Okay? If you want to go to the academic or the research area, there are several certificates around. There are several first degrees, master's degree programs, and then doctorate or PhD programs. Now, let's go to realities. Realities, ethics, and opportunities. Yes, it's not as all good as it is. Every industry, every job, every profession has its own challenges. Security is not just a job, it is a calling. And it involves what? Navigating risk. Yes, some of them high risk, upholding ethics, seizing the vast opportunities within a growing global industry. Okay, so now we are going to look at underground realities, professional standards, emerging pathways. Okay? Good. Real world scenarios and risk. Yes. If you want to work in security in some of the areas we mentioned, be prepared. Because if you are in some environment, it is dynamic, it is unpredicted, anything can happen anytime. Anything. Anything. Yes. So physical danger is there. Armed confrontation based on where you work. Hostile intrusions, violent protests. The issue of legal risk is also there. You may go and act outside your legal authority. You are going to violate people's rights. Either you yourself or your company can be taken to court. Operational fatigue. In some places, you work long hours, night shift, emotional stress. And then in Africa, we have this issue of public perception where people don't respect security. So, and this comes to affect some of us, our confidence. I mean, many families will not want their children to start career in security. No. They say, no, security belongs to some category of people. Okay? So the issue of distrust is there. Low social regard is there. But if you package yourself well, you can become the person who can change the status quo. That's what I always tell my students. You can become a private security person. Package yourself well. And as we know, packaging is a big deal. So there are real world challenges, okay? There are challenges. the issue of ethics and professionalism. Depending on the country or the context or wherever you may be deployed, the issue of ethics will not be too much of an issue for them. But remember, every job you do, ethics is very important. And in security, the ethics of that job is so important because you are going to be entrusted with what? Authority. You have access to some sensitive information. You cannot abuse them. You cannot abuse them. So key ethical issues, respect for human rights. I mentioned the private military company, their issues. Some of us, private security officers, we also go against the issue of human rights. But in private security is one of the biggest areas, the issue of human rights. Upholding dignity, avoiding unnecessary use of force, the issue of confidentiality. Are you able to keep what you must keep? When you have access codes, you have client information, you have to protect them. Private security professional, you cannot afford. The issue of use of force, make sure the force is proportionate, is necessary, is legally justified. Corruption. These days, corruption has become normal. Maybe you have to change the name. Make it stealing. Corruption is no longer an issue again. As a professional, you cannot afford to be corrupt. Bribery, favoritism, manipulation in private and public security work. Professionalism. Wearing of ID card, uniforms, arriving to work early, reporting reliably, continuous learning, updating your skills, reporting wrongful doing if they occur. These are all ethical and professional issues. So if you are planning to go to this industry, please be guided by these ethics. Women in security. Now women are taking over the private security. Either as business people, they own private security companies, or they are managers, or they are supervisors. They are everywhere. But they have issues too. Gender stereotype, because most of us think that security there is a man's job. Lack of mentorship and role models. Interestingly, there's no woman on this. I don't know yet, but I'll be surprised if there's a woman here. Sometimes the issue of pay, assignment. You say, oh no, this one is too difficult. There's a news item I read today in Kenya where a police officer said that the female police are putting stress on the males because they are not able to withstand high intensity operations like this demonstration they have been having. Okay? It may be right, it may not be right. Now, there are opportunities. I've mentioned them already. There are opportunities. You can start your own business. You can specialize in one area. You can be a consultant. So it's not all about working for somebody. You can work for yourself in the industry. And all the things we have mentioned, there are several areas you can start bit by bit, and build your way up. You can start as a guard and become a security manager. You can start as a guard and become an analyst and an advisor. The path is there. What do you have to do? You have to work for it. You have to look for certifications. You have to go for the right qualifications. You can become a business person. Yes. Every private security company you will see is owned by somebody. So you can say that, oh, look, me, I want to own my own company. Though there are issues there too. Yes, there are several challenges, there are several risks, but business is risk. Every business everywhere is risky. But the good thing is there's a high demand for the services of security in the mining areas, oil and gas, real estate, ICT. The good thing is you can specialize. You can say that, oh, me, I'm going for cybersecurity. I want to be a maritime security specialist. I want to be an investigator. The issue of fraud, forensics, private detective services. You can go into security technology, surveillance system integration, biometrics, AI money. Now, the opportunities are big. All you have to do, take your time, research, and say that, I like this area. I want to start from this area. Good. Finally, let's see how we can build this career. How do we build it? How do we start? A career in security doesn't always begin with a military or a police background. I've mentioned that already. If you have it and you package it well, please listen carefully. If you have it and you package it, some people have it, they've not packaged it. So they go for interviews and raw civilians, they beat them. So if you have this military background, police background, and you have packaged it, it will give you an edge. Whether you are starting fresh, you are switching careers, you are climbing higher, this segment gives you, okay, so we are going to see the roadmap, okay? Good, I've mentioned it. So let's see how you can start without any prior experience. This is in red for a reason. You don't need to wear a uniform or have a military service to break into security. No. You can start raw and become very, 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 very professional. So what do you do? If you want to go into private sector, basic security guiding training, there's a course on CCTV operations, event security. Like I said, there are several courses. What we are doing is one. And this center is going to do more of this training, more of them. Many of them is going to be free because we want as many people as possible to build their understanding about security. That's small. Look for contract-based jobs in garden, access control, customer service security at malls. Start small, be consistent, be visible. Everybody you see, every big man you see, started small. You too can start small. Make sure that whatever value in you, you bring it out. Your appearance, your punctuality, ability to follow basic instructions and procedures. Now, some people too start with experience, either from the police service, civil service, military service. I told you, some people have this experience, but they have not been able to translate the command, crisis response, and leadership skills into civilian terms. Many of our people are having issues in this area. Long military service, long police service, long civil service, but they are not able to translate it. Go for certifications. There are several of them. We saw the table. Go for them. They are out there. Some of them are very expensive. Some are very cheap. Go for them. Consider a specialty area. You can say that, oh, look, me, I like investigations. I'll go to investigation. Like I told you, I know a guy, all he does is what? Private security investigations. And he's good. VIP protection, industrial security. Every career has a starting point. What matters is what? Consistency, discipline, and willingness to learn. Okay? Networking. What we are doing is part of the networking. These days, everything is networking. Security is a trust-based industry. Okay? Some people have gotten jobs because they were in some platforms, the job was posted there. Network. Because if I know you, at least I'll have the confidence to introduce you to somebody. Yes. So networks are important now. WhatsApp platforms, professional associations, professional groups, go for workshops, seminars, and network. where to network, professional bodies. There are several security professional bodies. Some of you are in our WhatsApp group. We are sharing all the things we need to share because we want to develop you. We want to support your development. There are several conferences, several webinars as we are doing, several expos at so many places. If you Google now, security seminars in Zimbabwe, so many of them will come. Some of them are free, some you have to pay, some of them somebody must introduce you to attend. Okay? Good. There was a mix-up somewhere. One other area is volunteer, internships. You can just walk to some company and say that, oh, look, please, I want to volunteer. I want to do an internship with you. Somebody shared a very interesting experience. The job he's doing now, he one day showed up in a very nice dress and said, look, I want to do a volunteer for you. He forced himself on the company. And they had no option than to accept him. So they accepted him. They were sending him, go and pick this, buy this, bring this. With time, they got to know how he was. They took him first on contract, and now he's a permanent staff. Go and volunteer. Walk to a school close to you and say that, hey, I want to teach you school security. I want to give you security awareness. If you do what they say, okay, look, we never knew. We have to do all these things. They will introduce you to other schools. The next time you have become school security specialist, you are teaching all the schools in your area. Why volunteering is important? You gain experience, credibility. If you do it well, they will reference you. Sometimes you can even get a job and then you go back to them. They will write a nice reference letter for you. Okay? Sometimes you can just go to a church and say that, look, I want to be the security people in the church. Local events, political rallies. The volunteering opportunities are there. But in Africa, everything we do, we want cash, money, kwacha, dollars, dough. Go and volunteer, or you can start with internship. Yes. Internship, volunteer, you can start from there. Now, if you want to go to industry, learn to prepare a good CV. Your CV is like a picture or a mirror of you. So have a nice CV. Don't go and send 10-page CV unless you are a professor. Maximum 3 pages, 4 pages. Make sure the CV is focused on what? Skills. Emphasize the skills you have. The power jobs. I always tell people that, look, in a CV, you can describe thousands of roles you have played. But what are the relevant ones to the job you are applying for? Make sure the CV is backed by results. So the example they've given there, detected and reported 3 safety violations leading to what? Reduced incident. So make sure you include your certifications, your short courses, your volunteer roles. They want to know what you have done before in the past that are relevant to the job you are coming to apply now. How are you known online? Whether it is Facebook, whether it is LinkedIn, whether it is TikTok, whatever it is. How are you? How have you presented yourself online? Please make sure if it is a picture, it is a very professional picture, because these days, most companies will go online and look out for you. What are your online traces? What are you known in the internet space? And I'm telling you, that can let you lose a big opportunity. So whichever way you are online, This one is focusing on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is just one of the social platforms that focus on. The difference between LinkedIn and Facebook is that LinkedIn is more or less your CV that you put there. Facebook is when you are out enjoying. Even that one, be careful the pictures you post. Your online presence is your new first impression. They will go and look out for you. For many security jobs, they will check your online. So some of them, they will ask you, add the link to your Facebook or whatever that makes you, whatever online, they will ask you to put it there. Okay, so we've come to another big part of this discussion where we are going to listen to experts, people who have done this job for 20 years, 30 years, 10 years, 15 years, and they will share their experiences with us. Okay? The first one, I call him my son, my brother, my mentee. He began from a very humble beginning. Now he's a power to reckon with. He now lives in the UK. So I will invite him, maximum 3-4 minutes. He will share the opportunity that has come his way because of security. Jifa, someone will say, the floor is yours. I hope he's here. Jifa, are you here? Okay. Let's go to the next person. Maybe you will come back later. There is, sorry. There's an issue with it. Oh. Sorry about that. You cannot minimize. Okay. Where is the... Okay, so the next person, I think there's a technical issue we are having. The next person is a security consultant. He's my very big brother. One of the people who coached me to where I am today. He's a reverend minister and a security consultant. Reverend Alexander Budulabi. Reverend.
Colonel.
The floor is yours.
Good evening, Colonel. Good evening, fellow practitioners and brethren. Yes, Colonel, thank you very much. It's been a very interesting talk, and you've ticked all the right boxes. Please, before I go on, how many minutes do I have? So that
maximum 4 minutes.
Okay. You've hit all the right points. And just to reiterate something you mentioned, society cannot develop without the two basic foundations, security and justice. But often the politicians or the world do not recognize those two factors, that without security and justice, you cannot have an economy where you can make all your money. And as Colonel rightly said, if you withdraw the security forces from their duties, it's total chaos. And he's been in Somalia, with some of us have seen what has happened. We saw what happened in Liberia, in Sierra Leone, and other countries where the absence of state security or security of a sort created all chaos. So that is something that rightly we should look at. And I always tell people, especially the private security people in the man guard industry, that see yourself as a custodian of the country, a business enabler. Your CEO might not see your value, but I always say that a multi-million-dollar company closes over the weekend and leaves all their investments in the hands of, let's say, semi-illiterate or an illiterate security guard. And this person is supposed to take care of your investment. So as security practitioners, Canon is hit all the right spots. It's a very good profession. And a little bit about myself. Next year, October, I'll be 40 years in the security industry. I started very early at the age of 19 after A-levels, state security, private security, and I specialize in physical security, security management, and executive protection. And by the grace of God, I've worked with some of the big names in the Christian world because of my background. I specialize in executive protection, so I've done it for Yonggi Cho, Franklin Graham, Benny Hinn, when they've come to Ghana and all those things. I've handled the security arrangements, and I've also worked in 34 African countries handling security arrangements and coordinating with a lot of security agencies for my clients who have to work in these countries. And I'm a PSP, that's a physical security professional for ASIS, and as Keno said, it's the best organization to belong to starting your career, and it helps. I also have a degree from Buckinghamshire University in security consulting. And as I said, 40 years, next year, October, will be 40 years. My whole life in security, both public and private, state security. And as Keno said, some of the challenges we've had is that the traditional notion of security, it's ex-soldiers, ex-police. But that narration is changing because we have a lot of young people coming, we have business professionals, and it's easy to transition from whatever profession you are. For example, if you talk about executive protection in my field, it's easy to transition into it because it is not what Hollywood or Nollywood or the films tell us about the muscular, bulky guy. If you see me, I look very unassuming. I wear my glasses. I don't have six pack. I don't have muscles like dark glasses and all those things because executive protection is more about coordination, detailing, advanced work, making sure what you fear do not happen. So it's also a field that you can look at, can transition in. But as Ken also said, look for the certification. When I came out of state security in my youth, we don't, unlike the regular military and other security forces, we are like ghosts. So there's nothing about our records. You can't even bring your records out. You can't say, I worked here because it's against the ethics of our profession, our oath of security. So you can't even say, I worked here. It's against it. So you have to go and sell yourself to a client. And I remember I had to do security consulting for the largest hospital in Ghana. And my proposal was actually thrown away in front of me. It was thrown down because I didn't have a military background. I didn't have a police background. I didn't look like somebody who understood security. And I threw a challenge that, you know what, I'll do this. I'm not going to charge you. This is my charge. You think it's too much. If I finish the work and you are happy with it, then you can pay me. If you're not happy with it, I walk away. And by the grace of God, they were happy with their work. I did what I had to do. But then I had to go look for certification. That is why I joined ASIS way back in 2005. I became a physical security professional in 2009, and it's opened a lot of doors for me because of the certification. I've also improved myself learning. Security is continuous learning. The dynamics are very different. Every day, new threats arise, and you should be. The criminals or the bad elements of society are always one step ahead of us. So we need to also be continuously training ourselves, educating ourselves, getting the right skills. And Colonel said, look for the right certifications because what might work in one country might not work in another country. So basically, I think that Colonel, you're on the right track. You've given the information. Some of us didn't have this information when we started 20, 30 years ago. So those of us, the young ones that are with us today, and those also in the industry, look at it. The opportunities are vast. You can specialize in many fields in security. One of the areas that for the African continent that we should be looking at is critical national infrastructure and protection. It's virtually non-existent. South Africa has a very good program, but most African countries do not have. It's an area that some of us can look at, specialize in it, and the sky is your limit. So basically, I just want to end here and say, Keno, thank you very much for educating all of us. It's always good to learn. And as my Bible would say, it is always good. A wise man always adds to knowledge. So thank you for giving this opportunity. We are available. Some of us are always available. You can reach us anytime, and we'll share our experiences. We will guide you if you want it, so that as we are transitioning out of the system, the young ones coming up can also have a solid base, a good base to carry on our industry. This is the best industry for me in the world, because without me, the country is not safe. Without me, that my client is not safe. Without me, my wife and children are not safe. Our little knowledge added together will make sure we have a safe community as best as we can, make it safe, so that we sleep in safety, wake up in safety, and go about our businesses in safety. So this is the letter that I just want to add for Colonel's very erudite exposition. Thank you very much, Colonel.
Thank you very much, Reverend. When I win, I need wisdom. There are the people I call, So please come enjoy the wisdom bus or the train. Okay, so we are privileged again to have another seasoned professional. He's coming from the military side, okay? He's currently the senior regional vice president of West and Central Africa of ASIS International, Captain Retired Joe Awuni. Sir, please, the floor is yours, sir.
Okay. If I can correct that, Captain Joe Awuni retired. The captain has not retired. It's Joe Awuni who has been retired. So let me correct that first. Actually, it's difficult to add anything now. Reverend Budulabi has taken the rest of my notes that I was going to give you a brief on. But those who are on this platform now, I am not sure whether you really appreciate what you are hearing and what you've been taking through. Now, some of you are already in the industry, but I think you can still learn from it. But the others who are deciding to join or not to join, if after hearing all of this, you feel that you don't have a job, then I'm really sorry, but you are not serious. Let me start from this point. When I retired from the Army in 1983, there was nothing like a brief of anything. And the interesting part of it was that those days, anyone who was hiring a security manager would just say, oh, Army or police background. In fact, they started with Army, and then later on, I think they got a bit smart and then started saying Army or police. Recently, they've added prisons and others to it. Those days, that was the criteria. It's no longer the case. 3 years ago, I had a colleague who wanted me to assist him with a company that was interviewing for a security manager. He wanted to know whether I could be part of the panel, and I said no, that day wasn't suitable for me, so he did it. Now, after the interview, he called me and he said he was so disappointed. Why? Because they interviewed 5 persons. 1 major, 2 captains, 1 lieutenant, and 1 civilian. And I'm sure the way I put it, if I ask you to guess who got a job, you would. If you said it was the major, you're wrong. It was a civilian who got a job. Now, that company wasn't looking for someone who had been firing light machine guns and anti-aircraft guns. They were looking for somebody who had industrial security knowledge. Now, those who had just come out of the service, their CVs and the talks that they had during the interview were just good enough for Boko Haram or Al-Qaeda. Not good for a company like an insurance company that wanted someone to take care of their security responsibilities in the city. So what I'm saying is that if you thought coming out of the police or army is going to give you that opportunity or give you the front line for you to get a job, I can tell you that you are wrong. You will not get it. The other funny thing is that last year I heard one general manager saying that, look, he's asked for some guys for interviews, and he's also said that he doesn't want anyone from the police, he doesn't want anyone from the army. They should not have that in their CV. They don't need to be retired from the services. I was very disappointed, but I wasn't surprised. Now, the reason is that these, my colleagues, let me put it that way, my colleagues who come from the services, a lot of them, without the information that you are getting here, come out thinking that, oh yeah, it's about patrols. It's about putting a guard at the gate and so on. Wrong. These days, we don't do that. We don't do that at all. And I know of a company somewhere in Africa. They have 3 drones and they have 3 security guards on duty. And one of them is always in the monitoring room. The other 2 just walk around and they are manipulating or controlling the drones. And it's a big area. That is how far security has gone. Industrial security, I mean. So for those of you who are coming from the services, if you do not make an effort to change your mindset about the fact that you come out of the services and you want to get a job in industrial security, if you don't convert, if you don't align with industrial security practices, I'm sorry, you will not get a job unless you're applying for Boko Haram or Al Qaeda. Yeah, those 2, hands down, you will get them. They will give you those jobs. But in industrial security, no. Now, for those of you who think that, oh, well, security, what is in it? If you have listened to Colonel Khan from the start to the finish, the number of jobs that is outlined. Look, if you had a doctorate degree in medicine or engineering, you are more likely to get a security job than get a job in engineering or the medical services. Lots of areas. When I came out, there was nothing like cybersecurity. Now, cybersecurity is not just about cybersecurity. A whole lot of things have gone into that and still branching out. So it is about technology now being used to the fullest. So if you have no idea about anything at all, and you have some security knowledge, and you can add some kind of technology to it, you know that you're going somewhere. I think that we've been messing around or joking with whatever facilities we have. Years ago, if there was anything happening in our part of the world and it was to do with security, you will find a number of people being flown in. And they're all, whites. This time around, it is not the case. It is not the case at all. It is us with our dark skins who are doing the job because we are capable of doing what they can do. So it's not a matter of now looking at someone from the US, someone from the UK. And in fact, when we meet at the international scene, we do much better. We are more confident. I've just come from the Sub-Saharan African Security Conference in Lagos. And the content, if you were sitting there, you clap for us. But maybe you needed to see the faces of the foreigners, the Americans. And they were very, very impressed. And these were Africans, talking about African issues. And I think that we shouldn't lose this case. We should now be wading into their territory. And this is what GIFA is doing. he's relocated to the UK. Maybe all he needs to do is to ensure that he's acclimatized himself and he's dealing with things that he would have done in Ghana or Africa in the UK. So all I'm saying is that there's a lot of work for us. But I'm sorry to say that sometimes us in security tend to be a bit selfish. We do not want to share our knowledge. Somebody was asking me, how much is Kanakan charging for this? And I said, it's free. And he said, what? Straight away, he was thinking of how much he would make if he was the one doing it. But security tends to go like that. But I can tell you that if you share knowledge, if you share whatever you know in security, the only thing that you probably would get, which you say is negative, is the fact that you will now be given a variation of what you've thought about. I would encourage all of you, and that is where I will end up. You see in my title, ASIS. ASIS will give you a lot of support. There are over 34,000 members and counting around the world. And if you're a member of ASIS, you can reach anybody in any part of the world. You can be friends with any one of the 34,000, anyone at all, anytime. And all you can do is to tap their knowledge, acclimatize, if you are even with them. Or when you tap their knowledge, you make sure that you can, customize to make sure that it suits Ghana. Don't go and take something, a document they have written in Siberia, and you bring it to Ghana because it will contain snow. We don't have snow in Ghana. So all I'm saying is that learn a lot and come back home and do a lot. There's a lot of work over here for all of us. And you have the support. Kanakan is always online doing all these things. Don't come alone. Come with others. Come with others. Let them also join. But remember that that organization, ASIS, is also there, open to you. This is not about ASIS, so I won't go too much about that. But you can always reach Kanakan for any information that you want about anything that is mentioned. And I'll congratulate you for being here this evening. It is not a bad idea. I'm even more encouraged to see that we have people from all over Africa, which is a nice thing. Let us move on. Let us do bigger things. Let us do greater things. Let us do things that will show that we know what we are about. We will not always be students. Sometimes we have to be masters. Thank you very much, Kanakan.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. That was Captain Joe Awuni retired, the Senior Regional Vice President, West and Central Africa, ASIS International. In fact, everything I do regarding what we are discussing, I tap the idea from him. And from the way I'm seeing him, he's never going to retire. Good. Thank you very much, sir. So the next and last person is, he has become my brother, though he's my boss, Brigadier General Dr. Timothy Batabana. He is the Director, National Counterterrorism Fusion Center at the National Security Secretariat. He's coming to encourage us about opportunities in the security industry. Sir, please. You can go ahead, sir.
All right. So, good evening to you all. And thank you, Alex, for the opportunity to say a few words. As you can see, you have said everything. And then the people who have spoken, Captain and then Reverend, have finished all that is left on the plate to be said. So I would just like to commend the organizers of this of this session, and to encourage those who participated today not to make it the last time they are appearing on it. I have personally listened from the beginning till this point in time, and all the time that you listen to Alex, you would always go away with something new. So all the time you listen, you learn something new. And I think that I have learned a few more things this evening. So I have no regrets whatsoever being part of the session. What, in the general terms, you see, the security spectrum, as he stated, is that it's so broad The spectrum is so large, and there is space for everybody. And just like Captain was talking about, that even the doctor will be able to find placement in the security spectrum, maybe faster than he would find in the medical field. That's a reality. Because, for many people, when we talk about security, they just think about the physical security that we find, the security agents we find at the gates, and then the those that do close protection and the like. But far from it. There are several components that are intellectually generated, and then it's just a few optics that we see reflected in the physical aspects. Even the physical aspects, their composition and then their posture are determined by the intellectual aspects. So there is certainly a space for everybody to grow within the security spectrum. And I would like to encourage us all to challenge ourselves that we want to contribute to this. Why? Because eventually, the final product is that we have the survival of our states, the survival of our communities, and then people having their well-being and then their daily routine being secured. Because at the end of it, if we have everything in terms of wealth, we have everything in terms of certification and what have you, they are all useless if we cannot enjoy our basic daily lives in peace and in a serene environment. And that is what we all want to work towards. You would realize that when it comes to other professions, they attach a bit more of seriousness, and therefore they get the aura and then the respect they deserve. So that you take the legal field, they don't just accept anybody at all to become a lawyer. And once you join them, there are ethics you must respect. For us in the security domain, a good part of us, this whether it's state or whether it's private, the difficulty has been sticking to our ethics. The ethics exist. It's the ethics that make us give us the aura of professionalism. If we claim to be professionals and we don't stick to our ethics, then in that case, naturally, nobody would give us respect from the larger society. When Reverend was talking about when he exited from his state security agency and the fact that he could not even disclose where he was working, that spoke to ethics, and that brings a layer of respect from the generality of society. So what this center is doing is very commendable, giving us an opportunity and opening our eyes to the realities of a sector that must jealously guide the way it goes about managing its personnel. It's not sufficient to get a certification of ASIS and then all those other institutions. Yes, it's good enough to get them. They give you the confidence and then they give you the knowledge. But in the practice of it, in the practice of whatever we have learned, we certainly need to remain very professional, respecting the ethics and the underpinnings of the particular, of the security domain, for us to be able to continue to remain relevant to our society. They always say the eating of the pudding. The sweetness of the pudding is in the eating. So yes, the preparation of the pudding is the certification we go for, the learning we have, the exposure we get. But in practicing it, that is when they would really see that yes, we are relevant in the whole activities that make society safe and sound. I once again want to encourage participants of this day, just like Captain mentioned. Next time, invite another participant, invite someone else. If you didn't find it very useful, don't worry about it. But challenge yourself that you want to bring somebody along the next time around, and then see whether the next lecture will be able to up your appetite and motivation for listening out to these sessions. There is no doubt that whenever you come on, you would always learn one thing that you use at the at the workplace, or one thing that you use personally to secure yourself and your family. So once again, I would like to say thank you to Alex and then the organizers for this great organization that got participants from across the continent. That just proves that humans make a difference. It took somebody's idea to organize this. It took a group of boys, people to say that they are going to reach out to participants and get them on board, and they were successful. So we can challenge ourselves that we want to be successful always, and that can always happen. So thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Good. So let's continue. So in conclusion, we began with introduction, went into what is security, how the definition has changed and everything. We went into the core career streams, discussed skills, qualifications, and certifications that we need. We now went to the ground to feel the realities, the ethics, the opportunities, the threats, and then finally, we ended it with how to build this career and listen to expert advice. I hope we've all learned something new this evening. In 2 weeks' time, we'll come back. We are going to understand what is national security. In Ghana, when they say national security, people are running away. I don't know of Kenya and Malawi and Tanzania. So in next 2 weeks, we will come back here, same time, to delve into what is national security and where you fit, wherever you work, whether you are in the security space or not. So please make a date. Wherever you saw our flyer, ask the person. I'm sure they will share with you. It's now time for questions and comments. Something you didn't like, something you are so happy about, whatever you want to know, please just go ahead. Raise your hand and I'll call you. Thank God I have a lot of experts here. They'll help me with the answers. Question time, comment. Any question or comment or concern from anyone?
Yes, I raised my hand.
Please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone,
Good evening.
including the convener. Once again, I'm Emmanuel from Nigeria, Lagos State to be precise. First of all, I appreciate your efforts in bringing out this type of program. Although I might have knowledge of security, but I've learned one or two things today, and I pray that God will lift up the institute to more than what you're expecting in Jesus' name.
Amen.
This night, I think we don't need to say anything than for us to go and ponder very well on what you have said tonight, so that we put it more into practice. However, I'm appealing that if we can have the summary of what was discussed tonight, it will go a long way to help us. Once again, thank you and all the contributors that have encouraged us. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The recording will be shared. So the path you follow to come here, just follow the same path. You get a recording. Okay. Any other question or comments? Mr. Mevo, Nicholas.
Yes, Director, thank you so much. And then I thank my big man who blesses this evening with this wonderful knowledge deep into the security. And then, in actual fact, some of us have been in the industry for quite a while, but then we've not have these deeper informations that if we would have had some years ago, would have elevated us and enlightened us in most of these areas of practice and certifications. So I truly appreciate, and then I want to ask if one have to acquire these certifications are our senior brothers who brought this knowledge to light, willing to give an assistance or guidance, directing any of us who want to go the certification from these bodies and then the national security as well.
Okay, thank you very much. So there's a number on the screen. Take it. You can WhatsApp the number or call and ask all the things you want to ask. They will help you. Somebody says, please, my question, what is the Ministry of Defense or the organization responsible for security in Ghana doing to help private sector security services? Okay, so the Ministry of Interior is the government body responsible for the regulation of private security in Ghana. So this your concern goes to Ministry of Interior and not Defense. Unfortunately, none of us work with the ministry, so we cannot answer. But we know there are some discussions going on to review the laws governing the industry. Let's hope and pray that your concerns will be addressed with whatever will be released in the coming months or years. Good. Any further question or comment? Mr. Nicholas, your hand is still up.
Good evening.
Any
Good
further
evening,
comment?
sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Please go ahead.
Okay, my name is Roland from Nigeria, Port Harcourt, from Port Harcourt.
Okay.
I want to ask, is it possible for us to get the handout for this particular lectures for this night? Possible?
Yeah, the recording will be shared. So whichever path that you follow to come here, follow the same path. You get it.
Okay.
Sorry? Or you can WhatsApp your email address to this number and it will be shared.
Okay, on the screen.
Yes, yes. You can WhatsApp your email address to this number and it will be shared with you by email. Okay, any further comments or question? Mr. Bertrand.
Yes, greetings once more.
Good evening.
Yeah, the presentation was very interesting, and I'm from Cameroon, so we don't have a center for the CPP here. So I don't know how will the center facilitate someone like me in Cameroon, to attend the CPP certification.
Okay, please take the number on the screen, WhatsApp or call, and tell them your concern. They will help you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Any further question or comments? Any further question or comment?
No.
All right. So if you have any further question or comment, you don't want to say it here, take the number on the screen, send a WhatsApp or call, ask whatever you think you need, whatever assistance that you need. Like I thought we mentioned from the beginning, we want to get as many professionals as possible. There's somebody whose hand is up, Tanzania.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hello, go ahead.
Yes, I am from Tanzania here.
Okay.
And I really appreciate about your presentation, Mr. Alex, if I'm not mistaken. And my suggestion is, I was asking about the Cisco certificate. I don't know if you know about it.
Yes, so take the number on the screen, send your WhatsApp or call. It could be discussed and the necessary guidance will be given to you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rubin, your hand is up.
Yes, sir. Sir, please, good evening.
Good evening.
It's very unfortunate I couldn't join on time because of my working schedules. And I know definitely the recording will be shared later, so
Yeah.
I can also. Sir, please, I have a question.
Okay.
My question is about there is some kind of trend that
I think Mr. Rubin's network is not helping.
on the social media between Bono and security have advice. Looking at this, oh, sir, please, can you hear me?
We didn't hear the first part.
Hello? Please, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, my question is about there is a trend that is going on in social media between the Bono and Ashanti people in Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah. Can the national security advise, because the way this thing is happening, can it lead to a tribal war or whatever in Ghana? That's my question, because today you see Ashanti people lambasting Bono people, tomorrow you see Bono people lambasting Ashanti people. What are the plans and the measures that the national security can put in place to end these things? That's my questions. That's my question. Thank you.
Okay. Like we said from the beginning, everything around us is a security issue. So if there are two tribes insulting each other on social media, it is a security issue. I'll be very happy if we can discuss this after this discussion. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So
You're welcome.
you can just WhatsApp the number on the screen or call and then let's have a side discussion. But I think it's an issue that must be taken care of and addressed. It's going to be a bit difficult because social media is hard to control who is saying what. And I know they do it. If they do it, it will be on Facebook.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of people with a lot of fake account on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please, somebody's hand is up. Mr. Ebenezer. Mr. Ebenezer.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, we thank you for the opportunity. Unfortunately, I didn't join at the time, but later that I will appreciate. Please, we want to find out that in the private sector security in Ghana, it's like when we have a private nurse or other private, I've been recognized. I want to find out the private security in Ghana. What are our stand? But sometimes when a policeman stops you in Ghana and say, "Oh, you are a private security officer," they look down for you. They don't see as anyone. They'll be like, "Oh, private." Like the attention and respect is very, 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 very good. We want to find out what actually is the reason. Which ministry are we really under? That is protecting.
Okay, good.
Because I belong to a private security and I'm a chief supervisor. One of the private securities in Ghana.
Okay, thank you very much. So like I said, in Ghana,
the respect is very low. Yeah.
The regulatory body is the Ministry of Interior and Ghana Police. Of course, Ghana Police is under Ministry of Interior, but the police plays a key role. Unlike other jurisdictions, okay, or other countries, what we don't have in Ghana is at national level, private security is not highlighted so much. So if you go to police training college, police recruit training school, I don't know, but I will be surprised to find out a model on the role of private security in whatever they teach. So don't be surprised that the typical policeman you will meet, the typical soldier, the typical fire service, immigration, because they are wearing state uniform, will treat you the way they treated you, will talk to you that way. Now, I mentioned something. I said the way you, Mr. Mr. Ebenezer, the way you have packaged yourself, your depth of knowledge will let you know that, will let that policeman, immigration, fire, customs, prisons, know that, hey, there's a lot I didn't know. So anytime you are handled that way, just forgive them because they know not what they are doing. Now, I have somebody who went to police headquarters, okay, to look for the department in charge of private security. Then he met a policeman. So who are you? Oh, my name is ABCD. I'm looking for the private security department. Ah, who are you? I work for this company. Oh, private security. Just like you said. Oh, private security. Now, this time, the scenario was different. Why? The guy knew his stuff. So he now educated the policeman. Now they have become very good friends. The strange thing is that that policeman works in the Department of Private Security Operations at the Ghana Police Headquarters. So this is somebody who is supposed to work in a department that is supposed to handle private security. He himself had to be educated. So it's going to be a long journey, but we'll get there. This is why we are here. This is why people like you now understand what security is. The next time any policeman come working over you, don't get angry. Take your time and educate that policeman, because many of them don't know. So we who are in the private area or sector will have to deepen our knowledge such that we'll be able to educate people around us, such that such incidents will not happen again. Thank you very much. Any other comments or questions?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, somebody said, what are the legit private institutions that offer certificates which are accredited in Ghana? Excellent question. Now, in Ghana, the government institution that is in charge of accreditation is Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. Do you know the courses they accredit? They accredit academic courses. Please check your microphones. They accredit academic courses. We are discussing professional courses. So if you go to this institution today, thank God I was there last week, Thursday, and tomorrow I'm going there on a different thing. God willing. When you go there and said, oh, I have seen this course on private security I want to do, is it accredited? They will tell you that, oh, we don't have the mandate to check which institution is accredited or not, as long as they are not running academic courses. So GTech doesn't have the mandate to accredit professional courses. Now, how do you check? If you are already working, let's say you work in Guinness Ghana Limited, you see a private security course, just go there and ask your boss or the HR, that look, I've seen this course. If I do it, how are you going to place me as far as my career path is concerned? It is the easiest way to decide which course to do or not to do. In the professional space, many countries don't have bodies that are in charge of professional courses. Academic courses, yes. Good. Any other comment or question from anyone? If there's none, just take the number on the screen. If you have further question or comment on whatever we have done, please send WhatsApp or call. Remember, next week, 6 p.m., we'll be here. We'll discuss national security. We want to understand what is national security. In Ghana, like I said, national security is like somebody hanging in the air, some strange thing. Please make time, bring your colleagues, come and all of us learn when they say national security, what it means. Thank you very much for coming. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you to my special guest, Reverend Alex, Captain Retired, who is my father, my grandfather, at some point my brother, and General Tim, who has become my mentor, my brother, my teacher, and everything. Thank you to everybody who made time to be here. Let's keep learning. Let's keep educating people, because security is very important and we cannot afford not to understand it well and do it well. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kenneth.
Thank you.